Okay, today we're going to talk about cross multiplying, and there's several things that you already know how to do that apply to this method of trying to solve for x. All we're working with is proportions. So you're learning a new word, proportions, which you probably have already heard before. A ratio is a proportion. A division, a fraction is two fractions that are equal are proportions. And sometimes you might have a spot where there is a number that is missing that you actually have to find out what that variable is. And so I'm going to show you how that's done, and I'm going to show you two different ways to do it. There's the way that um, you should do it by creating an equation, and you already know how to solve one-step equations, or there's a trick that I'm going to show you guys. All right, so basically cross multiplying is a fancy way of saying make two fractions that are equal. Fractions, we've already determined they're called ratios, proportions, division problems, and relationships. There's two fractions that are related to each other. All right, I'm just going to jump right into this and kind of go out and kind of help you out with this. All right. So you've been given two fractions that need to be equivalent. So they need to be equal. So you've got 5/10. We already know that 1/2 is 5/10. So the way we know that is because if I gave you this fraction and I said it's time for you to simplify that, you would find a common factor, and they both can be divided by 5, and that would equal 1/2. So that's an easy way to do it when you've got a simple problem like this. And so what I've done is I've given you some simple examples to help you out. Now, to kind of go into this a little bit deeper, the proper way to solve this problem is to look at the numerator and the denominator of the second fraction and the denominator and the numerator of the second fraction. So I'm going to take the two blue, and basically I'm going to write myself an equation. 5 times 2 equals 10 times x. Well, you already know how to solve this because we've been working on these for a while. 5 times 2 is 10, and that equals 10x. And when you divide by 10, you divide by 10. 10 divided by 10 is 1, and these two 10s cancel out, so that leaves you with x. So that means that your variable x is equal to 1. So the fraction would be 5/10 equals 1/2. So that's how they get that number. It's a very long, drawn-out way to do this. You already know how to simplify. You can figure it out in your head, probably mentally, that 5/10 is equal to 1/2. But the way that I've got to show you how to do it is this way. I don't care how you do it, just so long as you get the right solution. And cross multiplying this is how you cross multiply. Now, I'm going to show you on this one here. We're going to take 6 and x, and we're going to take 10 and 3, and we're going to do the exact same thing. So 6x equals 10 times 3. So 10 times 3 is 30. 6x, just a one-step problem, divided by 6, divided by 6. X will equal, if my pen would work, x would equal 30. 5, sorry. X would equal 5. So that would be your solution for x. So if we really wanted to simplify 6 over 10 and we found a common factor, the common factor is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So like I said, you guys have already been creating equal fractions forever. Okay, I'm going to show you this last one here, and then we're going to get into the easy way to do this. So you've got, instead of putting the x in front of the 21, I'm just going to go 21. Well, maybe. I'm going to do 21. I'm actually going to get frustrated with this pen. I'm going to do 21x equals 7 times 15. So basically what I'm doing is just creating another equation. Very simple. 7 times 15 is going to give you, it's going to give you 105. And 21x, so then I'm going to divide by 21 because I want x by itself. Divide by 21 on both sides. 105 divided by 21 is going to give you 5. X equals 5. All right, so nothing new, nothing. This is new. You've already created equations. You know how to solve equations. Cross multiplying is just creating an equation to find the value of x in two equal fractions. So the way that we read that is we've taken the letters, I've taken the fractions and I've created letters for them. So A and D are equal to B and C. This is not the butterfly method. This is not anything like that. But that's how that works. One of those would, I'm always going to give you 3 of the numbers that you need, and you just have to find the 4th number. All right. Okay, now I'm going to show you a trick. And I call this the bat and ball. I look for my variable and I circle it. That's what I need to find out. So I'm going to take the other 2 numbers, 5 times 7, and then I'm going to divide it by 8. So 5 times 7 is going to give you 35. And then 35 divided by 8 is going to give you 4.375. And that would be your equal fraction. And I think I've done that correctly. Because 8 times something or 8 divided by something is going to have to give you 7, and 5 divided by that same number is going to have to give you that other number. So it will work every single time. And I'm going to give you this example and show you. 5/10, we already know that that number is going to be 1. So if I took 5 times 2, I'm going to get 10. And then if I divided by 10, that's going to give me 1. So there's my bat, there's my ball. So I'm going to multiply the 2 numbers, then divide the other one. Let's try a different way. Let's erase that 2. Let's do this. Let's make that an x. Let's make that a 1. 10 times 1 is 10. And then 10 divided by 5 is 2. So 2 is my x. So do you see how it doesn't matter what I do, I'm still going to get the same equivalent fraction. So let's try x over 10 equals 1 over 2. 10 times 1 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So it's just an easy way to find that missing number. And these are simple ones for you guys to figure out. So it may just seem a bit simple, but you will have decimals. You will have different things that you'll have to use to be able to figure that out. I'm going to look at my notes real quick just to make sure that I've got some good things for you guys. And so yes, 4.375 was that other one, or was that problem. All right. So now you've got 15 over x equals 6 over 9. You can do it. You can set it up. 15 times 9 equals 6x, and then figure out what 15 times 9 is, and then divide by 6. Or you could just do 9 times 15, 9 times 15, and that's going to give you, 9 times 15 is going to give you 135. Divide that by 6. And that's going to give you 22.5, or 22 1/2. Sometimes they'll ask you for a fraction. Let's try this one. 52 times 5. 52 times 5 is going to give you 260. 260 divided by 8 is going to give you 32.5, or 32 1/2. Give me just a second. I'm trying to figure out where I'm at here. 52, you multiply those, and you get 32.5. Yeah. Just wanted to make sure that I'm going in the right direction here. It's a little late, so anyway, okay. Next thing, 9 times 12. 9 times 12 is going to give you, 9 times 12 is going to give you 108. And 108 divided by 7 is going to give you 15.428. And we're going to round to the second number, to the hundredths place. So if this number right here is 5 or more, you add one more to this 2 right here. So it's really 15.43, or 15 3 over 7. So we've been doing all this practice on figuring out how to turn things into decimals and work with decimals and fractions. Now you're trying to find equivalent fractions, and those fractions may have a decimal in it. At the end of the day, the decimals, the fractions match. All right, and then this last one here, let's do this last one together. And we've got 19 times 7 divided by 0.5. 19 times 7. 19 times 7 is going to give you 133. And 133 divided by 0.5. And this is where you need to remember that you've got to move that decimal over. So the decimal is right here, so you're going to have to move it over 1. So don't forget about that when you actually have to do it manually and not with the calculator. So 133 divided by 5, or 0.5, is going to give you 266. And guys, that's all I have for cross multiplying.